What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp doing a figure haul video. I know some of you are like, what the hell are you doing? Figure haul video? Yeah, I do these on Fightful Select all the time. We're going to really ramp those up in the coming months. And basically, I started to collect JAKKS BCA figures and a couple others this summer. I was a little bit down in the dumps, more than a little bit down in the dumps. I was very down in the dumps because of the pandemic, some other stuff, but I was like, okay, I need to familiarize myself with some things that made me happier in my youth. I moved into this office, which is a room that I had when I was younger before we bought this house. And I also started to collect figures. And I started with JAKKS BCA because that's the last thing that I collected before I stopped collecting when I was like 13 or so, 12, 13, and kind of moved on to some other things. So this feature usually airs on FightfulSelect.com, but we had a particularly big one. There are some events tonight, some wrestling events, but no like WWE pay-per-views or AEW pay-per-views. So I figured I'd do this stream. And if you guys are watching this right after live, we're doing a Fightful gaming stream as well. We being Jeremy and Joel. We announced today we are going to start a Twitch soon. Jeremy has tentatively agreed to head that up, so I'm very excited for that. And of course, we got Fightful Scraps coming back next month. Go over to youtube.com/Fightful Scraps. That will be our clips page. And subscribe. We're gonna have hundreds of clips from our interviews up. So we got a lot of stuff going on at Fightful right now. I'm so excited. Dropped an interview with EC3. But if you like this video, subscribe to FightfulSelect.com because every single time I make a figure purchase, I'm coming home and I'm showing you guys. I collect AEW current figures, although I'm wondering if I need to get out of that. That's looking like a very expensive habit. At JAKKS BCAs, I have started ECW, San Francisco Toy Makers, and I'm really considering WCW Toy Biz. But let's go ahead and get into the first box that I got. I got these at Toy HQ in Lexington. You guys probably see me tweet them a lot or post stuff on their Instagram. They are at Toy Vomit on Instagram. They are at Real Toy Vomit on Twitter. They are, I think, at Toy HQ Lex on Facebook. You probably have seen, if you're into figure videos, you've probably seen Cardona and Myers, Hawkins and Ryder talking about this store or even going around this store. That's the one that I go to. I go there every couple of weeks. This was my in-box purchase. I have a Shawn Michaels. I have a Triple H, but I didn't happen to have either one of these versions of it. I have started to get into the repaint. You got the metallic paint there. You know what? I'll go ahead and tear this bad boy open. Why not? I don't collect them in box, but Throwback 27 says, that's awesome. Always great to see this stuff. Hey, we're always trying to bring you new content. Now, I didn't even realize this comes with a trading card. Ooh, it's on there tight too. There we go. But it's got the Shawn Michaels gear in which he's wearing here. Now, I've got this version of Triple H. I just have to get the repaint. Sorry about the loudness of pulling these bad boys out. I like the paint job, though. I like the metallic paint. Very cool figure. And they made like several Triple H's just like this. They just repainted it. Now, the Shawn Michaels is pretty funny. Let me tear into that. Now, it's very funny to me because they threw on some jeans. They have a bunch of figures that have these jeans on it, and they threw a vest on him and his elbow pads. But look, that is a bare chest just painted over. Throwback telling us about his jersey collection. I never understood the jerseys until I saw one, the one that you sent me, with my name on it, and I was like, okay, that's really cool. So I kind of understand that. By the way, guys, leave a thumbs up and subscribe. That would help out a lot. But we did this one, and we got this one, and it is just painted on what would normally be a bare chest. This isn't like a shirt that is built on, sort of like a lot of the Austins. Speaking of, this entire bag is filled with loose JAKKS Pacific bone crunchers, and oh man, I have a lot. Got one in this bag that I'll bust out. But a couple of Billy Guns, all the DX guys I've learned, they did repaints. And if you guys saw my Alley Cat interview, I brought up how they put Mr. BA on there. That's because they couldn't put Mr. Ass. I mean, they could, but why would you? You know? There is a current AEW star, Dustin Rhodes, who I did not have this half and half face paint, which is a lot more like what he actually does now. I had this Undertaker, but I didn't have this robe. It looks like Baby Yoda running around right now drinking his coffee. So I didn't have the robe. I was like, whatever. I already had this Diesel. It's a Series 1 Diesel. But, and you'll notice the paint isn't that great on it. The one that I have, the paint is even like worse than that. So I'm just kind of upgrading as I go along. This is one that I wanted really badly. White Yokozuna, could use a paint touch-up. I might get into that in the future, touching up some of the paint. I had the red and black one that I think is in the In Your House pack, but I did not have the white Yokozuna and didn't even know that they made white pant Yokozuna for a long time. Now, there are certain aspects of the JAKKS BCA line that I really like. There are ones that I really like that this was made specifically for them. They ain't using this mold for anybody else. It's Yokozuna and nobody else. Like, come on. Who else could you use this for? But I will say okay, here we go. This Triple H. You got an Edge figure that is exactly the same, just with a different head. So, I mean, I also respect I respect when the artistic integrity of something like this, where you're using it specifically for that. But I also respect the fact that for some of these, they reuse the parts and they get pretty creative there. Ultimate Warrior, not much of a fan of him as a person, but I had a blue Ultimate Warrior, but it wasn't until I got the green Warrior that I realized I was missing the tassels, and I had to have the tassels on this thing. Now, I can dislike the Warrior for a lot of the things that he said and not like his matches or anything, but this is a badass figure, man. And it is very loose. It's a very loose figure, as you see. An incredible figure. And the tassels are super dope. I think this is a Series 2 Shawn Michaels. I have white pants and blue pants, a version of Shawn Michaels, but I would see this one in box at Toy HQ a lot, and it was a very good price. It was like $25. But I never got it because I didn't want to necessarily spend that much for one figure in the box, because I let them all breathe anyway. Like, I'm not that worried about protecting the integrity of the figure. I mean, eventually I might sell these for charity or something, but I'm not that worried about that. Couple that I had to get. Look at these bad boys. The Hart Foundation jacket, Owen and Brett. Now, this Brett I didn't have because he doesn't have sunglasses on. This Owen I did have. There's one that has Slammy Winner on it, and then there's another that says King of Hearts. But the Hart Foundation jackets, as minimal as they are, I wanted them. I love the Hart Foundation. I'm a big Hart Foundation fan. Just one of my favorites. Digital Lizard says, for some reason, all the Warriors were loose jointed. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because all the ones that I've seen have been. And figures that I used and I played with for like 2 years straight were still like pretty stiff. Interesting. I'm glad that y'all are pointing that out. I also got a Stomp Owen Hart. And now I've mentioned in the past, I hate Stomp figures. I hate them. There's no bone crunching. Not that I care that much, but it's not. I feel like it's generic. Now, all these, myself and the owner of Toy HQ are mentioning, like, you would think these were all custom painted, but they're not. They all come with generic bodies, arms, and legs, and they just pop a different head onto them. Very wild. Very wild, but I got it anyway. I was like, you know what? I'll get it anyway, just because. This Triple H, I didn't even realize. So they made multiple versions of Triple H, obviously. He was a very successful guy. Cheers, buy a Fightful mug at shop.fightful.com. So they had the Blue Blood Triple H, which is in this gear. You'll see like the like mesh, like to emulate that gear. But then of course, in like 97, 98, he's switching more to this style. He's switching more to the DX style. This was very much a stopgap. They were like, oh, we'll take his blue blood pants and then we'll paint the H's onto his knees. That'll buy us some more time. That's how it looks like to me, at least. That's how I figure. It's a 97 figure, so yeah, that would add up an awful lot. And then this figure, I gotta laugh. I gotta laugh. If you've ever watched me do one of these figure haul videos, you know that I constantly mention that any excuse to make a Steve Austin figure, these guys, they would do. This one, upon first glance, you're like, oh, okay. There you go. Jeans, t-shirt, yada, yada. Well, the funny thing is, it is an actual t-shirt. It's painted onto the arms, but you got to see the shirt. Also, I got to say, the head, probably my favorite head for an Austin of this era. But you got to see this stupid-ass shirt. It's so funny. Now, I know it's backwards there. I think it's supposed to say bad to the bone or bad to the bones, but they spell bones, B-O-N-Z. So it's bad to the bonds. Bad to the bonds, bro. And look at that terrible snake. It's like a skeleton snake. This thing is ugly as hell. Yeah, it's a skeleton of a snake. Like it's a spine with a snake skull. This is a horrible, horrible shirt design. Bad to the bonds. Give me a break. Come on. Bad to the bonds. Now, here's where I went and messed up, guys, because I done went and got into a whole different line. Like, I've got a couple of WCW Toy Bizes. I bought a bunch of ECW figures, and I ended up buying a Mike Awesome that I thought was a part of the San Francisco Toy Maker line. It wasn't. So I was like, man, that's such a good figure, though. I saw this Sid. How could I not get this Sid? I mean, I don't know why, but there we go. There we go. He's got the, if you ever played Slam Masters, the running knee from Titan. This is a really good figure, honestly. Toy Biz did very, very good with a lot of these figures. And now, like, there's some secret code to get him to stand up straight. A lot of the figures were very tall and lean, though. But I saw this and I was like, man, this is what's doing it for me. This is what'll get me into it. Now, I had a lot of Toy Biz when I was younger. That was actually around the time I got out because I would pick up some of them and I'm like, man, they just look cool. Like I had a Lion Tamer, Chris Jericho. I had Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. I think I had a Hogan, DDP, a lot of those. There were some very, very good figures in this line. So I think that I'm going to probably start collecting these, depending on how cost-effective they are. I didn't really want to spend a lot of money when I got into this. It was just something to give me a little bit something to do. If you know me, you know I'm very work-minded, so I'm always thinking about wrestling. I'm always thinking about content. And that was something that I could do. And it seems like the figure haul stuff's going well, so might keep doing this. I might give you all some more stuff in that regard. But if you like this, FightfulSelect.com. We don't have them on a regular schedule because I don't know how often I'm going to get stuff. If you guys have any tips on what the hell I should do with all these things when they're done, I'm open to hearing things because I don't know if I'll display them or anything like that. I'm just collecting them to collect them and kind of share them with you guys. But FightfulSelect.com. We've already got 2 of these up there, and we will have more. Just like anytime I come home or I get some stuff in the mail, I'm going to do a video. But I wanted to get this one in before Jeremy and Joel did their stream. Also, tonight, guys, youtube.com/FightfulMMA. We have a UFC pay-per-view watch-along. We will eventually be doing a simulcast. Like, I think on McGregor night, we'll probably do a simulcast over here because it'll be so big. People say they should comp you for your figures since you're showcasing them. Well, he ain't gonna do that, but I think it might actually be tax deductible. But I better look into that before I go ahead and do that. Guys, thank you all so much. Please leave a thumbs up. Please subscribe, And please check out FightfulSelect.com if you want to see me, I don't know, play with toys or something. We also have a lot of exclusive news and podcasts and stuff like that up there. Till next time, we're out.